Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat.
4 minutes. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Temple Habonim, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Wait, I think I need more. When I say Shabbat Shalom, I need to hear your voices. Go ahead. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That's so much nicer. You see, when we hear your voices and we feed off your energy, it gives Alex confidence, David, and myself. It makes the evening a spiritual place. And this sanctuary is filled with joy and love and delight. But when we hear your voices, it just sounds amazing. So we're going to ask you to follow along in your prayer books, which look like these. They're called Mishkan Tefillah. These prayer books open from right to left because the Hebrew language is read from right to left. And let's say you haven't really encountered a lot of Hebrew in your life, which some of you may not have. Please note that all the Hebrew words are transliterated, so you could join us. Also, we have plenty of readings in English, so if you'd like to read in English, you could do that too and join us for that. If you need to use the washroom, they are just through the back door there. And then our friend Leslie Katz, who's right there. Leslie, raise your hand. She's right there. If you have any questions about the building or about anything you might need, Leslie can take care of you for sure. Let's see. The other piece to note is that David and I will sometimes refer to this ceremony as a Brit Mitzvah. This is a name coined here at Temple Habonim, and it's recognizing that in this day and age, bar and bat mitzvah is a gender binary, and we want to transcend that. And Brit Mitzvah, which literally means a covenant of the commandments, maybe enables people who are not necessarily, young people that not necessarily have chosen the gender or feel too constricted by it. So we've been using the term Brit Mitzvah interchangeably with bar or bat mitzvah. Just wanted to let you know that. This is also an historic first. We should do a Shechianu, but given the timing, we won't. But why is it a Shechianu? Alex, why is it a Shechianu?
It's the first Havdalah service.
It's the first Havdalah Brit Mitzvah in the history of Temple Habonim. And I'm so very thrilled that we're able to do it for the Greenman family and, of course, for Alex and for all of you. And we're so glad that you joined us. So the service will be a little bit out of order. We'll get to the Torah service much earlier. And we're also going to do Havdalah. So what I want to do now is ask you to turn to page 613. I'm going to welcome Aaron and Adam and Alex and Nora up to lead us in Havdalah. And particularly proud this evening because Aaron, who is a very accomplished guitarist, will be leading us in the Havdalah.
Do you want to read the first?
Do you need the poem first?
Yeah.
Taste the purple dusk, the shimmer of green that grows on the hills of Carmel, near the caves that hint at life. Taste the orange beaming beneath leaves in the endless expanse of the Negev fields. Taste the joy of these blessings that grow from the earth and sustain us and nourish us throughout the week. Blessed is the fruit and its seed. Smell the spices that awaken us, sharp as memory pushing into the week's rush of days, cacophonous and long, spices that cling, a delicate perfume scenting the week with possibilities. Blessed are the spices that awaken us. Fire, sign of home, of safety, of awe, as when we gather to tell the stories our mothers passed down. The wild nights dancing, drums beating, singing the ancient songs, words we no longer know, though we feel them twining around us like the many wicks of the flame uniting in one. Fire and light in the shadows they create. Blessed is the fire within each of us. Dawn and dusk, light and dark, memory and forgetfulness, sacred and mundane, words and silence, division and wholeness, the whole made easy, made soft as a pillow when you're tired. The division, a beehive of honey, the complicated sweetness that lets us know bitter. Blessed are the differences that make up the whole.
And as we light the Havdalah candle, this is the ritual for saying goodbye to Shabbat. We begin Shabbat by lighting candles. We end Shabbat by lighting a Havdalah candle, which has many wicks representing the lights of Shabbat. One of the very first acts of a bat mitzvah is the wearing the talit for the very first time. To present Alex's talit to her, we call upon her grandparents, Norman and Gail, to present the talit. Yeah, you'll see that. Do you want to say anything? Make any remarks? Do you want to make any remarks? Do you want to make any remarks about the telephone?
You want to say anything, Gail?
No? Okay. So, okay. So, as Norman and Gail put the talit on Alex, I just want, well, I'm going to stand over here, face front so everyone can see what a beautiful talit it is. It's just filled with rainbow colors. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And every talit has fringes at the ends. These fringes are at the corners, and they represent the 613 commandments that are found in the Torah. Bat mitzvah literally means daughter of the commandment. And so when Alex puts on the talit for the very first time, she's literally wrapping herself in God's mitzvot, in the 613 commandments as she accepts them. And so she says the blessing there.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu, lehatef batzitzit.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. You can hug or whatever. Stay here. Thank you. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Our service now continues on page 52. Alex will lead us in the Ashrei.
Ashrei yoshvei veitecha, od yahalelucha selah.
Ashrei aham shekacha lo, Ashrei aham shadonai Elohav.
Tehillah leDavid, aramimcha Elohai hamelech, v'avarcha shimcha leolam va'ed. Gadol Adonai umhulal me'od, v'li gdulato ein cheker.
Dor ledor yishabach ma'asecha, ugvurotecha yagidu.
Hadar kivod hodecha, v'divrei neflotecha asicha.
Ve'ezuz norotecha yomeru, udulatcha asaprena.
Zecher rav tuvcha yabiyu, v'tzidkatcha yiranenu.
Chanun v'rachum Adonai, erach apayim ugdal chased.
Tov Adonai lakol, v'rachamav al kol ma'asav.
Adonai kol ma'asecha, v'chasidecha yivarchucha.
Kivod malechutcha yomeru, ugvuratcha yidaberu.
Lehodia libnei ha'adam gevurotav, uchvod hadar malchuto.
Malechutcha malechut kol olamim, umemshaltcha bechol dor vador.
So mechanai lechol hanoflim, v'zokef lechol hakfufim.
Enei chol elecha yisaberu, v'ata noten lahem et ochlam beito.
Poteach et yadecha, umaspia lechol chayratzon.
Tzadik Adonai bechol derachav, v'chasid bechol ma'asav.
Karov Adonai lechol korav, lechol asher yikra'u ve'emet.
Ritzon yarei av yaseh, v'et shavatam yishma ve'yoshim.
Shomer Adonai et kol ohavav, v'et kol harshayim yashmid.
Tilat Adonai yidaber pi, v'yivarech kol basar shem kodsho leolam va'ed.
V'anachnu nivarech ya, me'ata v'yad olam. Hallelujah. Yesher koach. We turn to page 74 and we rise for the Amidah.
Adonai sifatai tifta ufi yagid tehilatecha.
Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 76. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, Mahanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magin, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Page 78. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah Le'Hoshia. Urid Hatah, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayim Emunato, Mishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Mimit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Page 82.
Yekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, Kakatuv al yad neviecha, V'kara ze el ze ve'amar. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzivaot, Meloch haaretz, Kevodo. Lumam Baruch Yomeru,
Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomo, Udivrei Kadshecha Katuv Lemor, Yimloch Adonai Leolam, Elohai Yitzion, Ledor Vador, Hallelujah.
Ledor vador nagi god lecha, Ulenetzach nitzachim kedushatcha nakdish, V'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush leolam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated. How do I pray? Oh, okay. Page 83. For thus said Adonai, the creator of heaven, who alone is God, who formed the earth and made it, who alone established it, who did not create it a waste, but formed it for habitation. I am Adonai, and there is none else. We now invite Nora and Gail to come to the bima for a reading on page 97. Grandmother and granddaughter. Okay.
May we find peace with those we love, growing together over time. May we be at peace with ourselves and with the labors that fill our days. May we fashion peace in our world with wisdom and gentle patience.
Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
Amen. Thank you. Well done, Nora.
Nice job.
Our prayer for peace, Shalom Rav, is on page 96. Shalom Rav means an abundance of peace. And at this moment, we think about our friends in the Ukraine who need an abundance of peace. In Israel and in the Middle East, an abundance of peace. And in our own nation, at this time, so divided, we need an abundance of peace. Shalom Rav. We sing together our prayer for peace.
Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace.
We take a few moments now for silent prayer and the meditation in our hearts. Do you have some water? Have a little bit of water.
Say shalom, oh say shalom, bimroma, bimroma. Page 100. Oh, Roma. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. When I was young, I used to think that peace just happened, that people were naturally peaceful. As I've grown, I've realized that that's a little naive, that people are actually a little quick-tempered, myself included. And when we take a second to think about peace, having the private prayer sandwiched between these these two beautiful melodies, you slow down a little bit. And you think about how we can make peace in our own lives, peace in our own communities, peace in our own world. We can be the change that we hope to see. Oh, say shalom, oh, say shalom, bimroma, bimroma, oh, say shalom, oh, say shalom, bimroma, bimroma. For all of his
happens pretty quickly in a Havdalah service, and we don't want. At this time, I'd like to invite, Adam and Aaron, and Norman and Gail, as we pass the Torah from generation to generation. And Nora, don't forget that when after the Hakafah, you come join us on the Bima so you can undress the Torah. Okay. No, switch. Facing me, switch. And face me, face me. There you go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Over a little bit. Perfect. Great.
In this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it. We're on page 104, 104. Please rise. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Shulchan Israel.
Mikdushato. This is a moment I have long looked forward to. I am fortunate to have a good friend in Adam and a wonderful student in Alex. And now I've gotten to meet Aaron and Norman and Gail. Passing the Torah from generation to generation is a moment when we recognize that Judaism will continue. We recognize that passing the Torah and the great-grandparents that are not here but that are here enable us to carry on a tradition unlike any other, a tradition that emphasizes learning, education, justice, equality, and dignity. When we pass the Torah, we know the next generation of Jews will take their place. And we are blessed by community, we are blessed by God, and we are blessed to Lador Vador from generation to
Door the door now. Protect this generation to generation. Door the door, these lips will praise your name.
Turn around, please. Turn around.
Ki mitzion tetze Torah. Ki mitzion tetze Torah. Udevar Adonai mi Yerushalayim. Baruch
Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato.
Gadol Adonai Yitir
Roma
Shemo Yachdav.
Follow me.
Lecha Adonai Hagidula Hagibura Hatiferet Hanetzach V'Havod Ki Ho B'Shamayim U'Ba'aretz Ki Ho B'Shamayim U'Ba'aretz
Shavua Tov.
Hamamcha Davina Seish the Holy Roads 105 Roll. Do it different. Yeah, there we go. Romenu Adonai Eloheinu V'Hishtachavu B'Har Kodesh. If you want to clap, feel free. We go like this. Clap, 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 clap. Romenu Adonai Eloheinu V'Hishtachavu B'Har Kodesh. Romenu Adonai Eloheinu V'Hishtachavu B'Har Kodesh. If you'll repeat after me, I go key, you say key. Here we go. Key,
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 key.
key, kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Ramemu. Let's go again. Key,
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 key.
key, kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Ramemu. One more.
Okay, you can sit down.
Key, key, kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Ramemu.
Dora,
One
come
more
on.
for good measure. Key.
Alex, take that yard and put it on the table. Push him off. Good. Sit down. Take the mantle off.
Adonai Eloheinu V'Yishtachavu B'Har Kodesh.
At this time, it's time to take out your Torah sheets. Look like this. Alex will be chanting from the portion of Bahar, Leviticus chapter 25, verses 1 through 12. And this is some of the most inspiring language of our Torah as it speaks to not only our environmental concerns, but also the concerns of justice and equality amongst the people of Israel. So, for the first Aliyah, I am so pleased to call grandparents Norman and Gail Greenman. Ya'amdu Noach ben Elisha v'Chava v'Tova bat Alexander v'Tzipora.
Baruch Hu es Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Asher Bochar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'nitanu es Toraso. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe Behar Sinai lemor. Daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarta aleihem ki tavo'u el haaretz asher ani noten lachem V'shavata ha'aretz Shabbat l'Adonai. Sheish shanim tizra sadecha V'sheish shanim tizmor karmecha V'asafta et teruata.
Beautifully done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher nasan lanu Torah emes v'chayei olam nosah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai nosein haTorah.
Amen. Thank you. You can hug your granddaughter for sure. Good job. For our second aliyah, we are so pleased to call to the bima aunts Rachel, Jennifer, and Karen. Ta'amdu Rivka bat Noach v'tova v'Bela bat Noach v'tova.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Borach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Take that, Nate, please. No, not you. Them. There you go. Good.
Uvashana hashvi'it Shabbat Shabbaton Ihyeh la'aretz Shabbat l'Adonai Sadecha lo tizra V'charmecha lo tizmor Et sefiach kitzirecha lo tiksor Ve'etzi nevei nizirecha lo tiksor Shnat Shabbaton yeh la'aretz V'hayeta Shabbat ha'aretz lachem le'ochla lecha ule'abdecha ve'la'amatecha ve'lischircha u'tov shavcha hagarim imach ve'litemcha ve'lahaya asher ve'artzecha Tihye chol tevuata lechol.
Beautifully done. Yeshikoach.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yeshikoach. Beautifully done. It is now my pleasure to your parents and Abraham ben Noach v'tova.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. On the eights, please.
V'safarta lecha Sheva Shabbatot shanim Sheva shanim Sheva pa'amim V'hayu lecha Yemei Sheva Shabbatot hashanim Batzor lechodesh biyom hakipurim taviru shofar bechol artzechem.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'hayei olam nota b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Adam, Aaron, if you stay up here, please, for the fourth Aliyah. We are very proud to call to the Torah our bat mitzvah, Alexandria Greenman. Ta'amud Sipora bat Avraham Basara, Aliyah bat mitzvah leTorah.
Baruchu et Adonai Hamelech.
Baruch Adonai Hamorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai. Anu Mikol Ha.
Once again, please.
Yoshveha Yovel Hi Tihya Lachem V'Shav Achuzatoch Shnat HaChamishim Shana Tihya Lachem Lo tizra'u v'lo tivtzeru et sivichecha v'lo tivtzeru et nizirecha ki yovel hi kodesh tihya lachem min hasadeh tochlu et tevuata.
Yes, beautifully done. Oh my goodness. All right.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Yasher koach.
In the presence of Torah, we offer our prayers for healing. Healing in our community to those who've been afflicted with COVID. Healing in our community to those who have other illnesses. We're thinking of our friends Maxine Richmond, thinking of Jane Berkowitz, thinking about Lee Glantz, people who are just in need of healing in Mishaberach. If there are any friends or family members that need a prayer for healing, please feel free to do so at this time.
I'll also add that May is Jewish Mental Health Awareness Month. If you're suffering, or if you'd like to say your name for the healing prayer, please do so.
Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, God, healer of the sick. We pray together on page 371, the Mishaberach. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor Abracha Ve'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. My friends, once again, it's an honor to call our Hagbah, grandfather Norman Greenman, and to address the Torah once again, Alex's sister Nora. Please rise.
Bezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael api Adonai b'yad Moshe. Yalla lai 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 lai, yalla lai 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 lai, yalla lai 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 lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai 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 lai, yalla lai 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 lai, yalla lai 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 lai, yalla lai 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 lai, yalla lai 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 lai. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. La 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 la, la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
You may be seated. All right. Now time for Alex's Devar Torah, and she will explain to you about the meaning and significance of Bahar. Alex, I know that one of the great parts of this process has been your desire to slow down, right? Yes, it has. So she's going to do this Devar Torah slowly, and slowly, and slowly. Okay. I think it's going to be slow. Yes, that's what it's going to be. Okay, so Alex is going to talk to us about Bahar, and we look forward to hearing it.
Good evening, and Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
In my Torah portion, Moses has just received the commandments in the form of stone tablets from Mount Sinai. The tablets outline the rules of the new society, starting with the Shemitah year. The Shemitah year is every 7th year, where the land is given 1 year to rest. Nothing can be grown, and nothing that does grow can be sold. As it happens, this year in Israel is the Shemitah year. In fruit and vegetable markets all over Israel, there are signs letting Israelis know that the produce they are buying is from the Shemitah year. God also proclaims that every 50 years there shall be a Jubilee year. What happens in a Jubilee year is that all the land returns to its original owner. Regardless of whether you have done well and acquired lots of land, or done poorly and have little or no land left for harvest. Everyone during the Jubilee year will start again with the same amount of land. The concept of the Shemitah year is important because the land has to rest in order to grow. Like humans can't grow without sleep. Also, the Shemitah year makes sure everyone has enough to eat during the year, not just the landowning family, but also people who are slaves or indentured servants, and even the animals, like the oxen or the donkey. In the eyes of the Torah, all of them are equal in status when it comes to food. If only this was practiced today. So, the Shemitah year and the Jubilee year remind us that the land is not ours. It is God's land to be shared with everyone, even slaves and servants. Also, the land is not for personal gain. It is meant as a way of growing food for everyone, a way that everyone shares in God's gifts to us. When the land is returned to its original owners, it means that even if the parents are living in poverty, their children will have another chance to succeed. This fairness is built into the Jubilee system in order to eliminate poverty from generation to generation. What should our obligations be with respect to the environment? In the story of creation, God says to human beings that they should have control over the earth and care for it. Even though this is the one thing God asks of us, what have we been doing? The exact opposite. God even told us how by giving us the Shemitah in Jubilee year. And what are we doing? Nothing. We are setting a bomb into the core of the earth to self-destruct with our foul actions. That is why, for my Brit Mitzvah project, I've gotten Temple Habonim the Hazon Seal of Sustainability. So, what is the Hazon Seal? Well, it is an organization that provides materials to Jewish organizations to make them more eco-friendly. However, in order to earn this, the organization must do 3 environmentally friendly things. For example, composting. This spring, Temple Habonim has started a compost pile. It now has a water cooler so that water can be provided in paper cups. And you may have noticed that we have also planted a garden. I chose this for my Brit Mitzvah project because I care about the environment and wanted to help my temple be more environmentally friendly. I also chose this project because it relates to my Torah portion, which commands us to not just take care of the earth, but to also care for one another. Temple Habonim is now the 2nd Jewish organization in Rhode Island to receive the Hazon Seal, the first being the Jewish Alliance of Greater Rhode Island, and it will certainly not be the last. Slowly but surely, we must persuade all of our neighbors to follow God's command and take care of the earth. Perhaps today will be the day we begin. Now, I have thank yous. First of all, thank you all for being here, whether you are watching online or you are here in person. Thanks to my friends who took time out of your busy schedule to watch me speak a language you don't know. Thank you to the Greenman family for your endless support. Thank you to the Juby family for supporting me while I sit on the couch and mutter a language you don't know. Thanks to Garrison, Theo, and Walter for not bugging me while I do this. Thanks to Melinda, October, Michael, Chloe, and Lily for telling me that, yes, Alex, you will do great. Relax. Thank you to my parents for being there to remind me of this and to appreciate the beautiful season. Thank you to Thank you to Rabbi Howard and David for all of your help and guidance as I prepared for today, helping me explore my Jewish identity and showing me the right way to say V'hayu. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So, Alex, as you've done a wonderful job of explaining your Torah portion, I'd like to now invite your parents up to offer their blessings and congratulations. You okay? You lost your yarmulke? It's okay. Happens to all of our harpas. You can be near your parents.
Get closer.
And you can even take off your mask with them because they're your family. There you go.
We want to thank you all for joining us today as we celebrate Alexandria's Bat Mitzvah. This time we recognize that Alex is now entering a new phase of her life, and we are seeing those glimpses of who she will be as an adult. I was reflecting just the other day with Adam on how I really feel like I see this most in the moments after she walks in the door after her school day, and I ask that all-important question, how was your day? For all the parents in the room, I know that you can anticipate the usual response. Even though I just saw her and her sister walking home with their gaggle of friends, talking their heads off, the answer to my question is usually fine, period. But some afternoons, something breaks through that one-word teenager response, and it is a window into what really resonates with Alexandria, who she is, and what she cares about. The first thing that breaks through is if any teacher told a corny joke or did something silly, because Alexandria really does love finding joy in every situation. This is true in school when she and her friends created a funny musical about their middle school experiences, and it is true as we watched her act in the Purim Spiel. Although she can be serious with her head in a book for much of the day, she also likes finding the silliness in life. The next thing that will break through is if there was a debate in class. We had a huge debate in social studies class about X, Y, or Z. Will always make the headlines. She loves an argument. I don't know where that comes from. As she engages with the Torah and Passover Seders, I see her asking questions, looking to have discussions and grapple with concepts. She is a lifelong learner. The final item that will follow that fine response is when she had a moment in her day when she helped someone, be it a friend, a classmate, or a teacher. It may be that she looked out for someone that she cared about, or that she helped calm down a nervous friend or lent a hand during band class. She will smile at the memory, and I can see that deep joy in being able to make life easier for others. Throughout her bat mitzvah preparation, I saw this in her wanting to help out the temple and her classmates in Hebrew school. So that is Alexandria, joyful, inquisitive, and helpful. And I have seen those traits grow stronger during bat mitzvah practice. But for most of the practice, I was an observer as Adam really sat down with her and worked with her. Watching them together was such a special moment, and Adam will share more about what that meant to him.
Well, that's a hard act to follow. Never fun to go second after Aaron and after the great job Alexandria did. Sneaking in an inside joke there, that was all the laughter about beautiful season at my expense, but that's okay. And I promise I didn't pay her to put the plug about the Alliance getting the Hazon seal in there either.
But I did, so.
Yeah, okay, good to know. Alexandria, we're so proud of you. We're all so proud of you. Watching you chant Torah and lead us in prayer today has been one of the greatest joys of my life. You were just incredible. Before you were born, like every parent-to-be, I worried about whether I was going to somehow screw up parenthood. We're all imperfect, and I think everyone worries that they will pass their worst traits onto their children. It'd be easy to stand here and say that you got the best of both of us, but it also wouldn't be accurate. You've taken a little from your mom and a little from me, and you've gone so far beyond that to create a person who's even better. I sometimes forget you're only 12 years old. I'm so proud when I witness the dedication you have when you put your mind to something like you've done preparing for today. I'm so proud when I see the care and compassion you have for your friends and for your sister and for your entire family. I'm proud of the way you think critically about some of our world's biggest crises. And even though it pains me to say it, and even though I hope my face never betrays it, I'm always sneaky proud when you out-logic me in an argument. I like to tell myself that I let you win because I really didn't care, but the truth is, you almost always articulate a clear argument for even the most mundane of things, whether it be negotiating more screen time, having seconds of dessert, or why we should stop at Newport Creamery after religious school for an awful. Today is a milestone in your life, and I feel so fortunate that everyone here could share it with you. It's the beginning of a journey, and I hope you take those things that I shared and that Mom shared that make you amazing and continue to grow and develop them. And I hope you know that your mom and I and everyone here will always be here to support you. And finally, I hope you know that whatever the future brings, you are surrounded by love. Thank you for being such an amazing kid. Mazel tov. I didn't make it through it in practice this morning, and I wasn't going to make it through it today. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Thank you. At this time, we're going to return the Torah to the Ark, and I'd like you to turn to page 375 as we rise and return the Torah to the Ark.
It's time he, the Machazikim Bar 74. בתומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם בכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה קדש ימינו
You think I'm going to ask you to sit down, but I'm not, actually. What I'm going to do is, because we do things a little bit out of order, because it's Havdalah, and now we are actually in a Ma'ariv service as opposed to the Mincha service we were in before, and we are going to go back to our prayer books and turn to page 146. Page 146 as we remain standing and we call ourselves to prayer. Page 146 with the Baruch Hu, Am I Awake?
Here in Temple Habonim, we have a minhag, a custom, that we think about things that we've been blind to during this song. So take a second, think about something maybe that you pushed away or something that you learned recently. And when we sing, Am I Awake? There's an opportunity to clap. And Alex will lead us in Baruch Hu, Am I Awake?
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla lie lie lie, 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 yalla lie lie lie.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Va'ed. Am I awake?
Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
We continue on page 151.
As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me? Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. And together as one family, we affirm the oneness of God and the oneness of our people, as Alex leads us in the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malachuto Leolam Va'ed.
You may be seated. Page 154, the Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 157. We pray together at the top of the page. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 158.
I should preface this by saying we often give our students choice of melody, one that sits with their Jewish identity, their family's Jewish identity. We've sung this song maybe 3 or 4 times total in the last couple of years of religious school, and it meant so much to me knowing that Alex asked for this melody specifically. And I'm about to go to a leadership conference where I'm going to see the composer of this melody, and I'm just really excited to be able to share with this composer that you specifically chose this melody. I just think the world of you, Alex. I'm looking forward to my chance to give out over you a little bit. Mi chamocha, Ba'elim Adonai, Ba'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha, Nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Osei feleh. Let's do that again. Mi chamocha, Ba'elim Adonai, Ba'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha, Nedar b'kodesh, Nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Osei feleh, Nora tehilot, Osei feleh.
You parted the seas, made our people free, put the stars in the sky for us to see. From the heavens above, oh unending love, who is like you, Adonai? You parted the seas, made our people free, put the stars in the sky for us to see. From the heavens above, oh unending love, who is like you, Adonai? You parted the seas, made our people free, put the stars in the sky for us to see. From the heavens above, oh unending love, who is like you, Adonai?
All right. So Alex, it's my turn to speak with you.
Remember your mic's not on, so you're going to want
No, I turned my mic on in anticipation of this moment.
to. Oh, good. All right.
Can you all hear me? Everyone always hears me. So, way back when, I was sitting in a conference room at the Alliance, and Jamie, you were there, Mel, you were there, I was there, and we were assembled a group of people to interview your dad for the position of being the director of the Jewish Alliance. And I knew within about 30 seconds that your father would be the one we chose. Now, I didn't consult anybody, but I just knew. And the reason I knew was that your dad came in to the interview, and I know you're going to be shocked by this, but he was prepared. He actually had a sense of what he was going to do and say. And that was very impressive to me. And it seems to me at that moment that what your dad did was say, I'm still exploring how I feel and what it means to be Jewish. A lot of people who come to apply for a position to be the head of the Jewish community already have a sense of what it means to be Jewish. But your dad was working through it. And as a rabbi, I really appreciate people who in their mid-30s decide to think about what it means to be Jewish and work through it in a leadership kind of way. It's a great quality. You see, what a lot of people don't realize, Alex, about what you do, what your mother and father do, and what your grandparents do, is that Jewishness is passed on in a lot of different ways. It isn't just the fact that you could daven up here or lead a service or chant from Torah. There's also Jewishness communicated by way of what we talk about as peoplehood, but it's more than that. It means that you have a sense that the world you live in is a world that you make because you're Jewish. So when I see pictures of Greenman's Deli, I know how Jewishness was passed on. Not just in terms of hard work and building an institution and a restaurant and a community center, which all delis are, especially in Philadelphia, but also that there is a sense of community that is centered around food, centered around joyful conversations, centered around a way of being that is unique to our people. And so when your father came to interview to be the head of the Jewish community here in Rhode Island, his sense of peoplehood and Jewishness was profound. And I think that all of us sitting in that room understood that. And that it was passed on by your grandparents. Even in the most indirect of ways. And here we are. Because just like your dad said, why not? You said about your own Jewish identity, why not? Why don't I embrace this thing? See what happens. And so you did. Who made the decision to have a bat mitzvah?
Me.
Yeah. If you didn't have made that decision, would your parents have been like, oh my gosh, no, don't do it to us, Alex? Is that what happened? No. No, you decided. You decided that this was a part of who you were going to be. That working through identity and what religion meant in terms of identity. And part of that exploration is being here today. And I knew absolutely that you would choose this very thing that you chose to become bat mitzvah. Do you know how I knew that?
How?
Because your mother said it so beautifully. Because you are inquisitive and you love a challenge and you wanted to know, what is it about me that makes me me? That's who you are. And so naturally you said, I want to do this. I want to figure out what it means to be Alex Greenman. Not just because I am in this by way of a family profession, but rather because you are curious and you love exploring. And when you approached your Torah portion and you said, Rabbi, this is all about the environment, you made that happen. You come to life and you don't say why, you say, why not? Why can't I have a bat mitzvah? Why can't we have the Hazon seal of approval? Why not? And so you made it happen. It's what you're about. This is the first time in our entire relationship that you actually haven't been physically holding a book right now. This is it. It's the only time I've ever seen it. We have a book right here, but it's not in your hand at this moment. I have never actually seen this, but I'm seeing it today. But it demonstrates to me throughout our friendship, relationship, teacher-student, that learning is absolutely inextricable from who you are. That is, it's constantly connected. You are a learner. But also, Alex, in addition to being a learner, I knew you would do this because you're a leader. Because that too has been passed down from both mom and dad. Leading is something that you come by naturally. So when it came time to do the Purim spiel, you ever been in a Purim spiel before? No. But you said, not only will I be in the Purim spiel, but I would like a solo, my song, to the tune of Miracle of Miracles. Like, you did that. You said, why not? Why shouldn't I do this? Why shouldn't I explore what it means to be in a Purim spiel by having a leadership role? And so you did. And when it came time to organizing the other students, so many of whom were younger than you took a leadership role in doing that, in helping, in sitting with them, making sure they knew what line to say. You see, Alex, your leadership is what gives hope to the world. Because as a young Jewish person, standing here on the day of her bat mitzvah, you've embraced not only the mitzvot, you've embraced the responsibility of what it means to be Jewish. And the responsibility to do justice, to have the words of Torah on your lips, to be kind, to be caring. And also, because it wouldn't be Judaism without it, being able to be silly. That too. Last night she comes in with Nora. It's like everyone is just kind of milling around. It's like Nora and Alex in the Gaga pit. Just, we're there. We're playing. Never forgetting that part of life, even in the most serious moments, is having fun. It has been a joy and a pleasure and a delight for me to be with you, to study in class. Many of Alex's classmates are not quite as culturally aware as you, and I always depended on Alex. If I had a Pixar reference, she was there. She was there. Not everyone could do it, but I appreciate that you could. your presence here has made such a difference. And I cannot wait to see the next several years as you grow and embrace this Jewish identity that you have demonstrated so beautifully today. And I want to say that your love of learning, may it always be a light to our people, to your family, and to all who know you. May your love of learning continue and lead to a love of justice for everyone. At this time, I'd like to now offer this blessing to Alex on this day of her bat mitzvah. So proud and with such care and concern and compassion and really pride. We rise. And we stand by the Torah, by the ark. No, facing me. There you go. Yivarech Adonai v'yishmarecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you always. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's presence always surround you. Give you the greatest gift of all, the gift of peace, the gift of shalom. And let us all say, Amen. Amen. All right. You're standing, which is great because our next part of the service is where we're going to be standing. So if you could all turn to page 586 at this time. Page 586. For the elated. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, la'teketu la'yotzer b'reshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 591. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. At this time, we remember those who died in recent days, his families in the midst of Shiva or Shloshim. We also recall those who died at this time in years past, those who are observing a yahrzeit. If there are any names for those who are observing yahrzeit and wish to remember, please feel free to name them aloud. Greenman family and Dubé family wish to remember on this occasion generations who are not here. Remember Stanley Koltoff, Sylvia Koltoff, Alexander Greenman, who Alexandria is named after, Clara Greenman, and Paul Dubé. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always be remembered for a blessing. Together as one family, we turn to page 598, and we praise God's name, pray the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, V'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chaim chon uvyom echon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah v'varach li'alam u'lameh almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal. Shmei d'kudisha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlam rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen.
May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say Amen.
You may be seated. I neglected to ask, is it you, Jennifer, who has gifts, or are you greeting? You are yes. Oh, well, come on up. I'd like to welcome to the Bima, member of our Board of Trustees, Jennifer Schultz, who will offer gifts and the temple's congratulations and mazel tov. Did I say mazel tov to you? I don't think I did. Mazel tov. Okay.
Thank you. Well, mazel tov from us as well, Alexandria. You did a fantastic job. My name is Jennifer Schultz, and I am a trustee on the Temple Havanim board, and I've been a member of the temple for over 12 years.
Jennifer, here.
Oh,
Could you
yes,
get
sorry.
close to the microphone? There you go.
Here, I'll give this to you.
There you go. Okay, good.
Sure. We are pleased to give you a few gifts from Temple Havanim to help you celebrate your journey, sorry, the mask is, into Jewish adulthood. So inside are 4 gifts. The first is the Mishkan Tefillah Reform Siddur with a personalized bookplate. This is the Siddur which you use so beautifully in your service today. The second gift is a pewter Kiddush cup engraved with your name and today's date from Cobo Fine Judaica Gallery in Brookline, Massachusetts.
Are they paying us? No, sorry.
What?
Nothing, no. Go ahead.
What did you say?
No, it's a very nice plug for Kolbo Judaica Gallery. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know.
Okay.
So Judaism uses symbolism in so many ways. Did you know that wine or juice from any fruit of the vine is equal to joy? You embody joy in all that you are and joyous in all that you do. And so they have this Kiddush cup that hold that joy engraved with your name and the date of this occasion. Use it in moments of anticipation and excitement, of ritual and personal practice. And of course, the most important Jewish holiday, Shabbat. The third item is your Brit Mitzvah certificate. It basically says you did it. You now have proof. This certificate, it's signed by Rabbi Howard, by David, and by our board president, Ivan Wolfson. It states that you have officially, successfully led us in worship at Temple Havanim as a bat mitzvah. And last but not least, along with the URJ youth, we are honored to present a $250 gift certificate to be redeemed toward tuition for NIFTY in Israel or URJ Heller High program. For generations, Reformed Jewish teens have traveled to Israel for a summer of deep, meaningful engagement with Jewish history and peoplehood. We give you the certificate on the Bima, affirming the formative role the State of Israel will play in your Jewish journey. Use it in good health with the knowledge that a new phase of that journey begins now. Mazel tov again. Temple Havanim is so proud of you.
Jennifer, thank you so much.
You're
That was
welcome.
wonderful. And Alex, if I'm not mistaken, you will be going to Israel very shortly. When will that be?
Next March.
Next March. So in March of 2023. That is wonderful. So I'm excited for you and look forward to lots of pictures from your camera phone thing and looking at them and saying, whoa, that was amazing. So I can't wait for that. All right, I believe we have a Kiddush and Motzi to do because after all, this is a day of joy and celebration. Even if it's no longer Shabbat, we still want to celebrate with Kiddush And Paulina, can you join us, please? One of the traditions we have.
Zach too? Yeah.
Oh, and Zach is there. Oh,
anybody
good.
else
Okay.
who's in the class?
Yeah. I think because we had
Nora, you can come up too. Yeah, why not?
Oh, totally, Nora. Please come up. By the way, Nora, did I tell you what your name actually means in Hebrew? Awesome. It does actually. That wasn't just to make a laugh. That's actually what it means. Manora, how awesome. Okay, so anyway, we had a Brit Mitzvah this morning, a Bar Mitzvah, and so a number of the students who were there this morning can't make it today, but we are so glad to welcome Paulina and Zach up and Nora to join us in Kiddush. And it will not be long before Paulina is right here in your place holding the Kiddush cup. Just a couple of weeks, and then Zach right after. Well, a few weeks after that. So yeah. All right. So I would recommend taking off the cover of the Kiddush cup. Yes. All right.
1, 2, 3. Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen. Take off your mask while you eat, while you drink. It's always better that way. Ooh, was it wine? It's grape juice. All right. Yay. This morning it was wine. All right, and then we have a motzi. Nora, do you want to lead us in the motzi? Wait, we gotta have it first. We gotta have them. We can't bless nothing. There we go. Okay. Very good. All right, now.
Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Teavon. You could tear some if you want. Or not. In the spirit of COVID and go ahead. Like it's there. That's what it's there for, to have a little piece, and sharing it with Zach and Paulina would be also a lovely thing to do. Yeah. Or no, they're saying no, but next time. All right. Wonderful. Thanks, guys. See you soon. All right. Here, I'll take this.
So I did something I've never done before. I have this iPad, and usually I'm following along with the service, but I have an app that allows me to write with my finger. And so everybody was saying such amazing things about you, Alex. I had my own thoughts about what I was going to tell you, and then I started writing down different things. So, and I added my own twist on it too. So here are the things I wrote down in no particular order. Number 1 was a force. Alex, I think that's the one I like the best. You are a force, and I'll come back to that. I wanted to mention how nice it was that your mom made these yarmulkes for all of us. I've gone to a lot of bar, bat, and brit mitzvot. I've never seen that done once. I've seen a lot of nice things, but I've never seen handmade yarmulkes for every single person at the simcha. What love must be in your house for your mom to take all that extra time, because she has so much time on her hands, I'm sure, to do this. It was really special, Aaron. Thank you. And adding your guitar was even more special. Adam, you brought me to tears. Thank you. I was back here crying with you. I wrote that you dive in. You really do dive in. You know what you want. And I was going to mention the Purim spiel too. Nobody else did a solo like that. You said, not only will I do a solo, but I'll do my own song. Hey, are you sure? Yeah, I got it. You seem very self-determined. You know what you want. Your mind goes a mile a minute, Alex. I can only imagine how hard it is for you to even just stand here right now and listen to what other people say, because I know that you're all over the place with 35 brilliant things. She beats me in the arguments too, all the time. And they aren't really arguments. They're just sort of well-crafted, well-spoken goodness. You're an interesting person. I've never had a student come to a bat mitzvah lesson and show me something. Usually I'm showing you something random that has nothing to do with what we're doing. And you showed me a wonderful video of somebody playing some kind of instrument in some way. And it bonded me to you in that you were able to see us, not just as your leaders and your helpers in getting you to this day, but as people, which all of us are. Alex, you're a lot of fun. You always remind us to be fun and silly, and I hope I didn't show up too many times at your dinner table with bad jokes that you shared. Yeah, probably. Okay. We were on Zoom most of last year. You and I was sitting in my car. People were doing contracting work on my house, and you were learning Hebrew from me and being understanding. You're a really go with the flow kind of person. I don't know if you see that at home so much, but I see it here a lot. You're here to fight injustice. Alex, I read this story to my children. It's called The World Needs More Purple People. And in it, it talks about the purple people or the empathic people, the ones who are understanding and spread love and goodness. In some ways, we're all purple people in that way. You really have that quality about you. And the world needs more Alex. I think the world needs more Alexandria, for sure. I put that you belong on a stage, whether that stage is acting or singing, or probably, most likely, something with social activism and making a change in our world, a real, true change that we desperately need. I don't know. You'd be first on my fantasy team to, talk to the congressman, so to speak. The word Yisrael means to struggle with God. When we talked about God, I read what you wrote, and it was really passionate and really thoughtful. And you had mentioned several times that you had thought about this on a regular basis in a way that maybe some of your classmates wouldn't share. Alex, I wrote that you beat to the marching of your own drum, or the beating of your own drum. And then I crossed it out and I wrote, you are the drum. You are the drum. Seriously, I really respect your willingness and ability to wear your heart on your sleeve, to be who you are, even when you're not sure of who that is. And it's really inspiring. As many people will tell you in your life, we lose those qualities over time if we're not careful. So I'm going to give you a little charge here, and really it's to don't forget to be you. In the moments when it's difficult, double down. Double down on who you are. And when you're not sure what that means, go back to your support system and ask them, and be willing to help, to accept help, and be willing to inspire other people. I only can guess what it's like in your house, but I know this, Alex. You're one of the first people here on Sunday at tefillah. You're right there in the front row, kind of ironically right where your parents are sitting.
Exactly.
You always have a smile on your face, and when you don't, you own it. It's a little early for me. I love that about you. I really, really respect you. And I'm grateful that we got the chance to share this day with you. And the musician in me is even more excited because we're going to end this bat mitzvah a little bit different than we've ended past bat mitzvahs. We're going to invite up Aaron's dad, who I don't have his
Aaron's
name.
grandfather.
Grandpa. Yes,
My
Grandpa.
grandfather.
If you want to come up.
Paul.
Yes, Paul, come on up here. I also learned how to say your mom's last name, Doobie. I used to think it was Doob. You're teaching me things all over the place. Yep, so I'm going to move this.
If you turn to page 625 in your prayer book, you will see it's a Don Olam.
640.
Wait, no,
There, right?
a Don Olam is 625. No, stand right there. Totally. And Adon Olam is sort of a classic ending for a bar bat mitzvah, and I'm so thrilled, as David just said, that we're going to end it this way. And there are 5 verses, and feel free to sing along, because it's really, really beautiful. And to be able to do so with an accordion, Paul, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.
I'm going to play it once through, and then we'll sing.
Shavua Tov, everybody. Mazal Tov to the Greenman family, and most especially to Alex for doing such an amazing job this evening. And enjoy the party. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Stay healthy. Mazel Tov, and we'll see you soon. Good night.
Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila Venismecha. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila Venismecha. Hava Neranena, Hava Neranena, Hava Neranena Venismecha. Hava Neranena, Hava Neranena, Hava Neranena Venismecha. Ooh, 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 ah, hey. Murachim, Lesameach, Murachim, Lesameach, Murachim, Lesameach, Murachim, Lesameach, Murachim, Murachim, Lesameach.